What we did was we started formulating standard letters. We wrote to everybody who was in arrears. We changed the format of our billing. So anybody in arrears would have a warning box at the bottom. So there's sort of no excuse if people were not aware that they were in arrears. They were alerted to it in writing. That was the start of the strategy. Obviously, when we started sending letters, people were contacting the department. So what we did was we restructured the department and we made a section of the department available to meet people on a face-to-face basis, to be able to just meet them, look at their circumstances and find ways of either repaying the debt in full or repaying the debt periodically by way of an arrears agreement.
And how is further accrual of arrears being prevented?
Last year, we came up as part of the strategy that anybody who was in arrears of house rent shouldn't be entitled to luxuries, because, you know, quite frankly, if you can afford a boat for your small boats marina and the payment of the rental at the marina, then surely you can afford to pay your house rent. So we started just developing deterrence. The same rule applies for entitlement to parking. If you can afford to buy a car, to run a car, then you surely can be able to pay your rent as well. Another significant step that we've taken, and this is in the organization of how we collect arrears, is we now try and as much as possible collect rent at source from tenants, whether they are in arrears or not, because it's more effective, it's a more efficient way of running the department. So for a while now, all new tenancies, so all new tenants have to pay us either by standing order or direct debit or deduction at source in the case of public servants. Now as well, since last summer, all public servants who are housing tenants have their rent deducted at source from their salary as well.
And on the theme of deterrence, the possibility of legal action was raised at the beginning of the year. Is this something that will be going forwards?
Yes, that of course is something, is a recourse that we have at our disposal. But we would much rather that people cooperate and that we avoid going to court. Going to court will take time in the preparation of documents, will take up the court's time, will cost money. All we are doing is looking for the enforcement of a contractual agreement to pay rent in return for living in government rental stock. We are quite confident that we would succeed in our claims for rent, but we really want to make sure that this is a last resort, because we are still at a stage where we're still recovering payment of rent, payment of arrears. So we don't think that we've reached the stage right now that we have to do that. But of course, if there are people who owe money, who we know are in employment and who we know can afford to pay rent, then if we have to go to court to get the rent that is owed, then we will. But we would much rather not have to go to court, because of course the minute we go to court we will also claim for our legal fees and we will also claim interest on the debt that is owed to the government.